Vietnam Crypto Insights, and we're back with the special guest. He's been here before, Mr. Angel Velardes, man, with Open World.
Happy to be back.
I heard you're not in your usual spot today. You went to the lot, right?
Went to the lot. Nice and cool out here. Cool weather. So I've been coughing a little bit. Not quite used to the cold weather anymore, but it's amazing. It's a very pretty place. Definitely recommend the visit.
Yeah, man. I went up there like early this year for the first time, even though I've been to Vietnam many times. But yeah, beautiful mountain area. I'm gonna share everybody a little view of the scenery up there, man. It's breathtaking, man. As you can see, this is from when I was up there.
Just like tell me where that is. I haven't been there at all.
Yeah, this is one of the coffee shops on the hill, man. It was like breathtaking view, as you can see. And it's just very mountainous, very cool at night, as you already know. And it's just man, love it. But yeah, they have great coffee up there too. That's where a lot of the coffee comes from. A lot of good Robusta. I think they're doing Arabica up there too as well.
Whatever it is, it's very strong.
Yeah, man. Any coffee here is strong, and that's actually I've gotten used to it. Being here so long, you can't even give me none of this Americano stuff no more. I'm not. I can't even handle this. Yeah, waste of my time.
No,
but anyway, man.
Still. Yeah.
What's that? It still affects you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps you up all day and night.
Yeah.
So what's new with Open World, and what do you think is the good news here for the crypto space?
Well, yeah, I thought, because I messaged you thinking like I haven't seen a podcast from you to celebrate our 100K milestone. I mean, we broke 100K with Bitcoin, which is something that I thought, honestly, we were going to do last cycle back in 2020. I remember the big trend back then was to put laser eyes on your avatar on Twitter or whatever social media you have to say that you have this until Bitcoin reaches 100, and it didn't reach it last cycle, but it did this cycle. So lots of people celebrating. It's a big milestone, and I for one am very happy, and I think it just really means there's a lot more to come this cycle. We are just getting started.
Yeah, I think the fact that we've already hit all-time highs twice in a year, immediately. It was just like one time before the halving. I think it was like right before the halving, and then not even 6 or 7 months later again. I mean, I think that's I think that it's primed for if we don't get a super cycle, in my opinion, I think that we're at least going to hit 200. Of course, my early estimates were 240,000 at this cycle, but we'll see. There's a lot of things that can pan out. As you know, there's a lot of factors in crypto, and I've been at 5 years, and I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the game, and you got to know of what's going on with all of the different factors, from the global geopolitics, from the monetary system to the what's going on now with politics in America with the Trump's picks. That's affecting things.
Let's talk about it actually, because I'm really excited for the picks.
Yeah, I think one of the things that came out, I talked about some of his picks on the last episode. Maybe you didn't catch it, but yeah, there was a number of picks. There's one that actually just came out about a day and a half, 2 days ago, and it's the former PayPal exec.
Yeah, David Sachs.
Yeah, he's actually being nominated for the AI and crypto czar.
Yeah,
so
it's interesting that they're.
What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that they grouped hit those two things together, right? AI and crypto. So put that aside. I think his perspective on the market, both on AI and crypto, are pretty much spot on. And basically what he argues for is that what we have what the United States has done as a country basically has basically said, we want to tightly control anything that any emerging market, whether it be AI or crypto, by either regulating it or only allowing a few companies like OpenAI and Microsoft to control AI technology or crypto technology, et cetera, or Coinbase to control crypto, or Blackstone to control crypto. And that way we have a tight control over what can actually be done. David Sachs actually makes the case that like that is the antithesis or the opposite of the principle of the United States is all about, which is about competition, it's about innovation, and it's about letting as many small companies or companies period explore many different options and see what works best. And so for crypto, he was actually a pretty early investor into Solana back in, I believe, 2017, 2018. So really early on through a hedge fund that he controls. And he's been, pretty bullish and has spoken positively about crypto and about the opportunity there. And basically the argument both for AI technology and for crypto is that the innovation and anything good that can come out of this should come from the US, because we have the most innovation available, we have the most money, we have the technology available here to be able to make sure that those technologies grow in the United States. And that hasn't been the case over the past 4 years.
Yeah, I think the problem, man, I kind of don't really believe that these guys are trying to make this a more equitable situation, because there's just too many technocrats in America, in my opinion, that are trying to control everything, and they're fearful. They have this zero-sum mindset that if we don't control it, then nobody else can have it. It doesn't have a cooperative type of framework, and I think that's what's leading to the US's demise, in my opinion, because they're not thinking cooperatively with the world. And this is why you see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I would argue that was the perspective of the government for the past 4 years, but that David Sachs in particular is very much into the idea of the open market and democratizing the innovation. So it doesn't come just from a few large technocrats that happen to be in control, but it can come from anywhere. And it's not like he's an American, and of course he wants the innovations to come from the US, but the idea is that it can come from anywhere. It can come from Vietnam, of course. But before, it was so tightly controlled from the US that they were trying to control it so that it was controlled by the US, and that was forcing companies like Open World, for example. Myself, I'm American. Tree, my co-founder, also American, and then the rest of our team is Vietnamese. But we couldn't launch Open World in the United States. Instead, we launched in Vietnam for multiple reasons, but one of them being the regulatory burden is so great in the United States. So now, being able to launch from Vietnam, it just made it a lot easier.
Yeah, well, this is truly an open world over here.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Even though a lot of the companies that I know that are crypto related here, a lot of them actually are based, or not based, I should say. They're actually founded and officially started in places like Singapore that have a more of a regulatory framework for crypto. Where are you guys actually based out? I mean, as far as the foundation of your company, where are you guys based out of as far as?
Yeah, so most of the team is in Vietnam,
okay.
But then we also have a legal entity in Panama.
Oh, Panama. Okay. Wow. You're one of the first I talked to that's from Panama. So Panama has a more open regulatory framework for crypto.
It's nascent, but it's more willing to kind of and easier to incorporate there as a crypto company. As long as they're kind of like the tricky part there is that you can't really market or go after Panamanian investors if they want to use Open World. So we kind of IP block them, but then it allows us to market to everyone else almost. not everyone else, but
Yeah,
just about.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't market to the people in Panama, you're good.
Yeah, I guess so. Not a lawyer,
Oh,
so not lawyer, not legal advice.
oh, okay. Yeah, I won't get into the the deep weeds of that. I don't want to get you in no trouble, man, because we know that this game is really there's so many things that you could do that might cross the line. So yeah, well let's avoid those topics. But yeah, so
Right.
what do you think of some of the other picks that Trump has done that's bullish for the space?
Well, did you talk about the new SEC chairman, the incoming SEC chairman?
Yeah, a couple of days
Okay.
ago. You might have missed the episode. Paul Atkins, just briefly. I had a brief show because I've been trying to do too much, I think. But yeah, I wanted to know your thoughts on it. Paul Atkins.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically a lot of the people that are being nominated are basically libertarian in mindset, and so is Atkins, basically. So the idea is there, just let the market kind of figure it out, reduce regulation and government intervention as much as possible, which it could mean like a few more burnt bridges, if you will, or things might go wrong, but that's kind of part of what comes with innovation. So Atkins is very much in that mindset. And in addition, he also happens to be, from what I've read and heard, a very smart legal scholar. So he's able to navigate kind of the legal aspect of it to kind of, again, open up the innovation as much as possible. So and again, it's not just with the SEC. It's not really just about crypto. It's about a wider aspect of like investor relations and investor protections, and it's really important agency in the U.S. and crypto is really a small part of it, because in reality, Bitcoin is not really a security, or it shouldn't be, and I think that was kind of determined even while Gessner was there. So Gessner was there, so that part is kind of bypassed. But really, it's more about like the altcoins and even Ethereum, etc. Those now might have a clear path for either getting out of becoming a security, or if they are securities, kind of becoming their own thing that could be more easily managed.
Now, how soon do you think he'll stop all these lawsuits, or do you think he's going to stop all these legal actions against the crypto companies?
As soon as he gets in there, they're going to be dropped. I mean, there's people talk about the deep state, if you will, and I think there will be some of that. There will be some pushback. I actually used to work for the U.S. government, and so I understand that a lot of the people that work there have strong feelings about regulations or whatever their job might be, and these are all like really well-meaning people who are doing the best job based on kind of the legal and regulatory kind of path that they've been giving and instructions that they've been given. So now it's a matter of leading them and honestly cutting a lot of it, and that's going to take some getting people on board. And there's a lot of people entrenched there for many years who are going to fight against it.
Yeah, I actually you worked in which capacity for the government? I can't remember. What capacity did you work for the US?
I worked in the Peace Corps, which is kind of its own thing. Okay. It's not like the bureaucratic piece of the government yet. So I did that for almost 10 years. But then I did work in one of the cabinet level agencies that kind of regulated the HR kind of and bureaucratic aspect of the government. And so I'm very familiar with that aspect of things.
Yeah, I did quite a bit of government contract consulting over several years. So yeah, what's your thoughts though on whether or not they're going to actually be able to rein in the government as far as crypto though?
You're talking about for crypto, like the regulatory, the legal stuff, or
okay. I mean, you got your experience in government. I mean, you know that there's a lot of people, and it's just a big behemoth of agencies and people that's in there. And like you said, there's a lot of career people that's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
but what's your thoughts on the viability of them being able to rein in, all of these people and all these entities?
For crypto, it's very high, and the reason is because Atkins is someone that has already worked for the SEC in the past as a commissioner, has a long history both in government and out of government. Apparently, a great legal scholar, and now coming in and has a philosophy of trying to cut and open up crypto for all Americans. So I think for the crypto side, that's going to be one of the easier things to do, to be honest, because there was such a small minority of people within government that for some reason, the Elizabeth Warren kind of, people who were really just wanting to kill crypto and wanting to kill Bitcoin. And it was such a small minority, yet they had such outsized control because of kind of the deal that they made with the Biden administration to try to get him elected. But now that they're out, they have no power left. So they're just, they'll fade into oblivion. And especially now, as more and more people are becoming, wealthier and feeling wealthier because of Bitcoin going up and crypto going up, I mean, that momentum is going to be, going to continue push people to wanting to open it up and make it more available.
Yeah, I think that the banking lobby, even though she was actually hated by the banking lobby, I think she's actually been in bed with the banking lobby, Elizabeth Warren anyway, for the past election cycle anyway. It seemed like anyway. But what's your thoughts on that? Yeah. Yeah, she actually caved into the banking because actually when she was spearheading the CF, what agent?
So the Computer Finance Protection Bureau.
Yeah, so, she was actually against the banking industry. Then she actually came and got in bed with them, and it's kind of like, wow, incredible.
Yeah, so like the history of that is that basically she helped create the CFPB. And this was before she was a senator, and then initially when she was then nominated to basically be the first commissioner, the first director of the CFPB, the Republicans blocked her, and so they wouldn't let her become the director of it, and then she ended up running for senator and becoming a senator instead. So she got kind of the last laugh in that end, but so she won the battle, but she's about to lose the war when it comes to crypto.
Yeah, man, it's just too many people. I was kind of astonished, man, that the crypto lobby was able to come up with so much money. And, I mean, it was like 130 million, or it was like more than that, wasn't it, toward the end?
Yeah, over 200
in the election.
Over 200 million. Yeah,
over 200 million.
Yeah.
Wow. It was a lot of.
And it didn't go. Yeah, and it didn't all go to the presidential election. It went to, a bunch of state races as well, and quite a few, were won. So yeah, it had an impact.
Yeah, man. Let's just hope we keep it fair and balanced. Now, what do you think of the fact, though, that a lot of these entities in the U.S. are centralized, though? I mean, like, you got your Coinbases and you got some of these other entities that are actually playing a major role and trying to get in with the administration. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because what's happening with Coinbase now is that they're actually very recently been getting a lot of flack, and this has been happening, since Coinbase was founded, really. But what will happen is that people will go into Coinbase, they'll have money in there, and then they'll want to either move it in or out, and it'll get flagged for some reason, then they'll get blocked. And then they won't have access to their coins for days, months, weeks, years. And there's a lot of people that happened to. Yeah, well, there you go. Our social media manager.
They've KYC'd me like 3 times this year, and last time I was like, "Look, man, what is it? What's going on here?" I mean, I haven't, I'm not going to reveal too much, but I haven't really done a whole lot on Coinbase this year, so it's kind of like, man, leave me alone. Really, I'm like overseas.
Yeah.
And they actually blocked my wife, though.
No, you gotta get your coins off of Coinbase, off of any exchange, really.
I don't leave anything on the exchange, but it's like, when I onboard off ramp, sometimes I use Coinbase, but it's not, I'm gonna be probably not even using them anymore because they're just really a pain in my side. I mean, I was like, look, I said, you guys KYC'd me 3 times this year. What is it that you guys want, man? You got my passport, you got everything, you got my financial information. Okay, what are you guys doing with my information? That's what I asked them, and I asked them some really pointed legal questions. And they come back with something like, well, we're just trying to keep you safe. Dude, I'm safe.
Yeah, you don't need to keep me safe.
I'm in Vietnam.
Yes.
There's no guns. I'm not being, I'm not being tortured, or I'm not being held hostage or kidnapped. I'm fine. I'm safe.
Yeah. And so
this is the gaslighting that they were doing. They're keeping me safe.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah, and you know Ivory, Ola Ivory on Twitter. She also had a bunch of her funds blocked in Coinbase, and they haven't been they haven't released them to her. So I got KYC'd a bunch of times back in the early days. But basically, this is why it's so important. And actually, I think this is a good transition to like the next topic of talking about DeFi, because this is why this might be the cycle where DeFi really takes off in a real way. Because last cycle, the previous cycle, people were just getting so sick of all these DEXes, not just blocking them, but with FTX and Voyager and Celsius, et cetera, going bankrupt and then taking all their money, right? So that now there's like a much deeper understanding of why it's so important to really nurture the decentralized aspect of blockchain. And because that is happening now, people are going to be accumulating, buying, using DEXes, and then finding ways to make money off of that. And there's so much higher yield out of the traditional finance space, and in the decentralized finance space, that people can see, okay, why am I even playing around with this fiat money, fiat currency, and traditional banks and bonds when I can make so much higher yield in DeFi? And I think this might be the cycle when that happens.
Yeah, and you guys got the big decentralized finance platform. So yeah, tell us about it, man. Because this, I know a lot of people don't want to. I know that Coinbase, they offer you an attractive, percentage for staking with them, but like I said, it's a pain in the butt to deal with these centralized entities and go through all the rigorous problems that they can give to you. Not only that, but not only the possibility of losing your funds because they have the wrong people that's managing things, like you were talking about some of the FTXs and whatnot. But you've got they're actually trying to KYC you more than the banks. So but yeah, tell us why that's important, man, and what do you guys do in that regards?
Well, it's important to understand the difference between a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange. A CEX, a centralized exchange like Coinbase, is basically acting as that trusted middle person that manages your funds, and to manage those funds and do all of the protection, if you will, that comes with that, they take a fee. And so in that way, they're very similar. It's basically not the same as a bank, where the bank basically has, when the funds are in your bank, they're your bank's funds. They're not your funds.
Right.
They can block you. They can block your funds if they want and tell you, no, you can't have it. And so in a decentralized exchange or your own, this decentralized wallet, you control those funds. And now when you stake into something like open worlds, you have full control of what you go into. And then because there's not a centralized power kind of taking a rake or raking all of the kind of middle bureaucratic fees that come with the traditional finance space, all those fees can come back to you, the user. So in our example, we allow users to stake into a portfolio of liquidity pools, and we optimize those liquidity pool positions by auto compounding and auto balancing your stake. And so what that means is that the liquidity pools are basically how decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, SushiSwap, CowSwap, et cetera, trade one token for another token. And instead of, there's a small fee every time you trade a token. And instead of that fee going, like whenever you trade on E-Trade or whatever, and then taking a very tiny small fee from every one of those trades, and that fee going back to them, that fee now goes to you, the user, the people providing liquidity through places like Open World. And because of that, we have two portfolios set up, a Bitcoin focused one and a balanced one, which is more kind of altcoin focused. And the Bitcoin one is the APR is over 70%, and the altcoin one, the balanced portfolio, last time I saw it this morning, it was over 110% APR. And so you're just not going to get that level of return in the traditional finance space, because a lot of those rewards, a lot of the fees, and a lot of the profit goes back to them and goes back into the cabal of the traditional finance space. In DeFi, it goes back to you, the user. So that's what's really powerful about DeFi and why I'm really bullish for it this cycle.
Yeah, man, I tell you, it's high time, because there's a lot of there's still a lot of jokers in the game. It was one of the heads of I can't remember what crypto project, one of the top ones, was just saying a couple months ago, he's like, man, he said, as much as I love this space, there's still a lot of scammers in this space. Yeah, that's the problem. Right. But you're going to have bad actors anytime there's some money involved. And anytime some money or profits involved or greed, you're going to get bad actors. So you just got to be able to know, what's the what, and have a good idea. Do your research and do your due diligence and make sure that you're not staking your crypto with the wrong entities that are gonna.
Are you doing any staking or DeFi or investing in any DeFi protocols?
Just a little bit right now. I mean, I'm mainly just holding a lot of the top cryptos. I mean, I'm not a degen anymore. I don't go out on the limb and just go all in with the meme coins, even though I probably could have made a mint this past cycle with or the past couple months anyway, with the Solana meme coins. Those have been going crazy.
Yeah.
But
that's what's great about DeFi. So like meme coins are kind of its own semi-industry within crypto, right? But DeFi is different. Like you can take if you're a believer in Ethereum, you can go in or Bitcoin, go in, stake into the Bitcoin portfolio, and you get diversified into multiple liquidity pools. And now your Bitcoin is making fees. It's making a return for you at this point over 70%. So imagine if a year from now, you now hold 70% more Bitcoin just by allowing it to be used for trading within liquidity pools. That's the idea. There's a little bit more to it, of course, more nuance, but especially in a bull cycle, the volatility is your friend when you're in a liquidity pool, if it's managed correctly. And that's kind of what Open World is able to do for you.
Now, you guys, are these like set liquidity pools? I mean, you said that there's some that are actually managed, but are those like automated or?
That's right. So I was and I still am a liquidity pool investor, kind of on my own, and that's how I learned about liquidity pools. Right, you try it out. But what we did is instead of having to manage those liquidity pool positions manually, like over and over, we were able to optimize it for you, so that now so for example, liquidity pools might be 50%. One example might be 50% Ethereum, 50% Bitcoin, and let's say a month later, you now have 60% Ethereum and 40% Bitcoin, because the price of Ethereum went down, and so more people sold Bitcoin and bought more Ethereum. What we do is we rebalance you back to 50-50, and we auto compound the return that you made from the trading back into your position, so that, as you know, the eighth wonder of the world, compounding, we auto compound you so that return grows exponentially much faster than it would just sitting there either in your wallet, or especially even just sitting in a liquidity pool that's not being managed. So we automate it for you, make it almost like more of a passive income opportunity.
Okay. So I mean, you guys have like your own like AI tools, or what do you guys utilize to automate it though?
Yeah, we have a bot that does the auto balancing for us based on some thresholds, but we also do it manually based on our expertise and insight. Because one of the hardest things about crypto is first knowing which liquidity pools to invest in. That's really the hardest part. Is if you invest in the wrong liquidity pool, the APR may be high, but it's, you may end up with zero, or you may end
Yeah,
up with a negative return. Exactly.
one of the tokens might go to zero. That's happened to me a couple of
Exactly.
times when I just started out. So
Yep.
yeah.
So we only invest in the biggest, highest, safest tokens with that still provide a relatively high return. And like I said, 70% on a Bitcoin focused portfolio. It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, that is.
Terrence, man, you gotta check it out. Try it out.
Yeah, you
Happy
guys
to
have
walk you through it.
you guys have a limited staking period, right? There's no.
Nope. No, you can come in and out at any point, and you take your rewards with you at any point whenever you on stake.
Now, what is you guys' URL again? Is it open world?
Yeah, OW.finance. Let's see, I think I have it on my hat.
Oh, OW.finance. Okay.
OW.finance. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna pull you guys up here to show the audience, but
great.
The only thing that I think that one of the things that things that is a what I want to say is kind of like other than the fact that one of the tokens might go to zero. One of the criticisms is that sometimes there's a loss. There's an impermanent loss. I mean, what do you guys do about that, man? With the exchanges, because sometimes there's a offsetting situation where it results in a loss.
It's kind of it's a weird term for it because people don't talk about impermanent gain either. It's the idea is that at some point, again, you can hold your assets in the liquidity pool, which then gets split up into 50-50 or some percentage. And with a portfolio like what we have, you're able to then set it up. If you click on start investing, you can kind of see our portfolios listed there. But
okay.
Yeah, the idea is that with by us auto balancing you, we keep you back to that normal range of where you're getting the highest possible return. And so whenever you are on quote unquote impermanent loss, so like one token is higher than the other, the idea is that the fees that you're generating, that 70% APR or that 100% plus APR that you might be receiving on some of the other ones, that's making up for that quote unquote impermanent loss.
Okay. And you've got pretty safe pools here, because I don't see anything on here. I don't see anything on here that's one of these brand new meme coins that's got a really low liquidity and low ranking as far as market cap.
We studied the liquidity pool market for the past 9 months and only added the safest and highest yielding liquidity pools into our platform. So that way you can be comfortable in any of these liquidity pools. And you know that they've been audited, they're safe, and they're high yielding.
Yeah, because you've had the audit. Who's your auditing team?
Verichain, who's headquartered.
I'm familiar with Verichain. They're a Vietnamese company, actually based in Singapore. Most of the crypto companies, Web3 companies are actually legally based in Singapore, but a lot of these guys are Vietnamese. So, but I'm familiar with Verichain. I know the guys over there. So pretty cool. But I try to meet all the Vietnamese companies here, man. There's a lot of crypto heads here, a lot of crypto founders here.
Yeah, there are.
And I went to a tech event last night, and one of the guys that he's a tech nomad. He was asking me. He said, "Yeah, they got a lot of companies in Singapore." I said, "Yeah, but a lot of those companies are Vietnamese companies." He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I know quite a few of them."
Yeah, we looked at Singapore as an option for incorporating. But Singapore, I went there for Token. Did you go to Token, by the way?
No, I didn't. I missed Token, but I went to DEF CON. So
yeah, but Token. Anyway, it was my first time in Singapore, and it's an amazing city. It reminds me a lot of the Asian Dubai, if you will. But it's expensive compared to Vietnam. So
it's very expensive.
Yeah, and the technical talent in Vietnam is superb. So there's some very smart developers and people in Vietnam I think in comparison to Singapore and some other countries, obviously the English level is not as high. So that's, I think, what kind of holds it back a little bit. But regardless,
Yeah.
it's still a great country to invest and build in.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards Dubai as far as setting up any company in the future. And the tax-free aspect is the one that actually is luring me. And there's a lot of crypto heads already in Dubai as well. So
there are.
but yeah, that's amazing. Now you guys are built on Arbitrum, so all of the tokens are on Arbitrum.
Yep, and the fees are low, so that's really what enables us to do the automation, right? Because imagine if every time you were auto compounding or rebalancing, you're paying $20, $30, $40, $50 to do so. That wouldn't work.
Yeah. That's one of my first experiences in DeFi was with Uniswap's liquidity pools, and I was using on the ones on ETH, and I was like, wow, these fees, especially when
they'll kill you.
When the traffic on the network got really busy, the fees were just ginormous.
Hundreds of dollars. It's crazy.
Huge.
Yeah.
I think my biggest fee, my biggest fee that I've ever paid on Uniswap, you're not gonna believe this, but my biggest fee, guess what it was?
$250.
No, it was $1,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, what happened was Shiba was going down tremendously. It went up like a rocket, but it started dropping. It started dropping like a rocket out of the sky, and I was like, "Dude, I got to get out of this before it's like zero." And but it
ouch.
It was painful, but at the same time, I saved myself, from sudden death. But yeah, it was all good. Shiba's a lot further back to where it was. Shiba Inu, for the people that don't know what Shiba is. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not doing that Uniswap on ETH anymore. It's a very painful experience, man.
Yeah, but it's part of the learning experience. So now and like I said, open world is a great way to get some of that yield in a low fee way that diversifies you into multiple assets and liquidity pools, and again, gives you a high yield. So check it out, Terrence. I'm disappointed because we've talked already, and I can't believe you haven't tried open world yet, man. You got to try it out.
I've got to get on there, man. I've got so many people pulling at me, man. Do this, do this, do this. I'm sorry, man. I'm torn, man. I've got actually one of my co-hosts who hasn't been on the show for a few months because she's been busy, is she's been trying to get me to do the some of these early pre-sales on the GameFi projects, man. It's just like, I don't know. I'm too scared to move funds or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get in with you, man. It's definitely now that the cycle is booming, and
for sure.
and I'm still a little bit of a degen. Some of your pools look a little real safe right now, but I'm not.
You are. You have it in you, man. I can tell.
I've actually played a lot. I tell you the truth, I've actually played around with a little bit of these meme coins with the pump fund the past couple weeks. And that's actually been a learning experience as well. But they actually kind of bottlenecked pump fund, after the guy, I don't know if you've seen this, the guy threatened to commit suicide on there, and
it's all fake, but it's true.
Yeah, it was, and they had the little fat kid on there, a little 13-year-old that did the rug pull on everybody. That was kind of
so silly, yeah. So much,
there's always some drama or something crazy with crypto, man. And of course, last week you had the Justin Sun eating the banana that he bought for $6.2 million.
Oh,
he's actually going to start his own version of Pump Fund, supposed.
Oh, that's right. I'm drawn. I will say, there is a, in talking about kind of the market, and where we are with all these memes, etc. I think what's already started happening, I don't know if you have any NFTs, but NFTs have really skyrocketed over the past 2 months, maybe 2-3 months. And what happens is that as crypto goes up, people feel wealthier. They now have more assets, more money to spend, and they're like, well, what can I do with this? And well, you can buy NFTs, and so the NFT market then pumps, and the market goes to the highest, depending on how much money you have. CryptoPunks, Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Again, like the very top NFTs have been skyrocketing over the past few months. And I think we're still early in that cycle too. So investing in some of those, again, the very top, maybe top 5, top 10 NFT markets might still be a good investment. But it's, again, more of a degen type play. If you want to be safer and still get a great return, try open world.
I definitely will, man. Did you have any final thoughts on anything that's going on with you guys in crypto in general?
Well, I just want to throw it back to you. I mean, because I'm in Da Nang, so I feel a little bit removed from all the coming and goings of the Vietnam crypto space. What's happening in Vietnam regarding crypto from your side of the world?
Up in Bangkok, there was a lot of people that was asking about Da Nang. I've actually talked to a lot of founders, a lot of devs. Yeah, there was quite a few people that asked me about Da Nang, and I told them about you, and of course I know a few other people that's up in Da Nang, and I was like, look, man, I've been to Da Nang earlier this year, and it's a really nice, vibrant community. There's a lot of crypto here, a lot of digital nomads there, and the weather is pleasant. There's a lot of beaches. There's a lot of cafes, and the internet is good here. Bangkok, the internet was terrible. I had a live stream up there I had to do, and I had to go get a different hotel on the other side of the city because the live stream, the live stream requirements were, way above what the internet at the hotel was. And I'd been to a couple of hotels, and I had to get to a third hotel.
That's crazy.
And I had to do research online to which hotel has the best internet in town. And so I ended up spending that night. I ended up having to spend another $100 because I had a live stream with the founder of Sandbox, and that wasn't So it was just like I was ripping and running up in Bangkok trying to go to all these DevCon stuff and side events, and I had to do that. So that's my experience. But yeah, Da Nang, man, is definitely wonderful, great internet, great people, great environment, and it's not as busy as Ho Chi Minh City. I'm sure you appreciate that.
But it doesn't have as many people working in crypto like you guys have in Saigon. So I missed out on that part of it. But my co-founders are in Ho Chi Minh City. I'd like to spend a little bit of time in Hanoi. I think it's not as active as Ho Chi Minh City, but it seems like it has a decent scene that I'd like to check out as well. So it seems like the market is the market, I guess, and Vietnam crypto market still around.
Yeah, man, it's really active every day. I've got stuff that I'm trying to go to every day. I missed a couple of events this morning, but we'll catch up next week on them. So
yeah, exactly.
A lot of meetups and networking and small events, a lot of workshops though as well. But man. Well, we have to touch base again here, man. I like the open world pink hat, man. You didn't give me one. I got to get one so I can represent open world, man.
Well, all right. I need you send me a screenshot proof of having staked into one of their portfolios. You'll get a hat coming to you.
I'm gonna have to invest with you, man. That's my promise. I will. I'll show you the screenshot, and I hopefully get the tag.
All right, cool.
Get the hat.
Yeah,
but appreciate you coming on again, Angel. And
it's good chatting.
Let us know when you got some more good news with Open World, man. And everybody go out there and reach out to ow.finance.com, right? Or no, ow.finance.
That's right.
And check it out.
All right, thanks for what you're doing, man. Good chatting.
Yeah, thanks for showing up on our show, man. And we'll be in touch, man. And I'll get you that screenshot.
Okay, good.